Television is a uniquely influential medium. It has tremendous capacity to mobilize or influence public opinion.
पर्सनल क्वेश्चन
ओके
पहले आप क्वेश्चन पूछिएगा।
आजकल आपका धर्मेंद्र जी से कैसा चल रहा है?
बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, ही इज फाइन।
Special attention therefore needs to be given to its role in a democracy. It is essential to the preservation of our political freedoms that we are provided with a full range of information, debate and expressions required for full and responsible participation in society. Television is the principal means by which cultural values are transmitted in a modern society. Along with newspapers and publishing, broadcasting is a mirror for the social and political life of society and a window through which we view others.
यदि आपको राजनीति में
जी
और अभिनय में इन दोनों में से किसी एक चीज का चयन करना होगा तो आप किसका चयन करेंगे?
मैं चाहूंगी ये कि मरते दम तक दोनों कर सकूं, क्योंकि किसी एक को भी गिव अप नहीं करना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन मैं अपने आप को पॉलिटिशियन नहीं मानती हूँ, पार्लियामेंटेरियन मानती हूँ। दोनों में फर्क है।
The power of television lies in its value as a common reference point for millions of people. Television has the power to unite us as it can divide us. We as citizens can be united through public service broadcasters' endeavors or divided through niche marketing of hundreds of commercial channels. Public service broadcaster must be concerned about a broader set of clientele and has a much larger mandate. It has to meet the complete media needs of all, including those of a villager who has very few media options. Such a person is either watching Doordarshan or listening to radio on a community set. The public service broadcasting also needs to take into account the media needs of the minority audience, whether they be ethnic, religious or linguistic. Such a broadcaster needs to concern itself with developing taste, spreading literacy and development, and picks up issue that a commercial broadcaster rarely addresses.
I think my first responsibility is towards my viewers, and if I fulfill that responsibility, advertiser will follow automatically. If this two follows me, viewers and advertisers, definitely my shareholders will be benefited.
Whatever TV channel which is private or owned by shareholders or owned by Australians or Chinese or whoever comes into India will obviously have its own axe to grind. They are not here because they like India. They are here because they want to make money. While Doordarshan is not here because they want to make only money. They're sure they want to make money. But they are always for the betterment of the country.
To me, one of the key characteristics of public service broadcasting is that it maintains and enlarges the space that exists between purely commercial broadcasting on the one end of the spectrum and government-run propaganda type broadcasting on the other. So it's independent of both government and market, and enlarging that space, which you might call the space for civil society, is one of the key roles of public service broadcasting.
It should be concerned with the problems of the people. In a sense, every day people will be concerned about something or the other. I mean, I come from Delhi, for example, and I have seen the crisis on CNG, the long queues, the life getting affected, and every citizen is interested in knowing what is the problem, when it is going to be solved. These problems will also vary from day to day. They change as calamities in the country come, or there are bigger upheavals that come. So the key characteristics of a public service utility like this is that of proactivity and not just reactivity. Not only dealing with today's problems, but anticipated problems of tomorrow, so that intelligently any given citizen can handle these.
Well, a simple answer could be that AIR and DD are a historical reality, already a largest broadcasting network in the world. Therefore, there is no point in questioning their existence. Such a proposition, however, does not lend meaning to the existence and identity of an organization. An organization cannot grow and excel if it exists only because of historical accident. For any living and vibrant organization, there must be a larger purpose and mission. In order to do this, it is necessary to analyze whether commercial broadcasting can fulfill the objectives of public service broadcasting. In other words, can market forces alone meet all the objectives of public service broadcasting?
I don't think market forces can take care of public service broadcasting at all. I'm quite definite about it. I'm not even saying possibly, if there is such and such. I'm absolutely certain. And the reason for that is, that is it a sustainable thing? We've seen all over the world it is not. And any private company is going to be interested in the bottom line. Therefore, either it pays for itself or it doesn't. Even a multi-channel, let's say a bouquet of channels, will not want to have cross subsidies.
I think if you look at the private channels today, barring some of them which may have a certain amount of what they call documentaries in non-prime time, most of the interest today is to commercialize the slots, is to sponsor slots. Even headlines are sponsored now, and weather is sponsored, and so everything is sponsored. Now, in sponsoring, it is obviously the advertiser interest or the client interest that is taken care of. It is not the interest of the public.
What do sponsors want? Sponsors want programs and spots that are eye-catching, ear-catching, memorable. They create a flutter, they create interest, or they create impact, whatever is necessary in the context. Now, if a program does that, if a spot does that, they will buy it, they will sponsor it.
Left to the market forces, it is possible that purely commercial broadcasting will not meet the full needs of public service broadcasting. This is because commercial broadcasting regards the audience as consumers and not as citizens.
Stay with us, don't go away. We'll be back in just a moment. Thank you so much.
Get out the dandruff and get going. Bayshare, world's first ever.
After all, commercial channels are there at the end of the day to make money, and therefore they are going to really target those who have disposable incomes, those who have the ability to go out and buy in the market, and therefore are an important client for advertisers. The public service broadcaster, on the other hand, in a country like India, has a unique duty to address not consumers but citizens. And that's an important differentiation in a poor country, because the two are not synonymous, unlike in advanced Western or prosperous countries where consumers and citizens are synonymous.
You look at other countries also, there are countries like America. It has so many channels, yet there is public service broadcasting in that. Why they are having that? That means some utility of a public service broadcasting is there in a very economically strong country like America. We are a developing country, we need it more than them.
The needs of public broadcasting have changed. Today the levels of literacy are certainly higher than they were 30 years ago, but the needs of eradicating ignorance are equally important. Urbanization has not really made much of a difference when it comes to understanding what is in the nation's interest or what is not in the nation's interest. And I personally think that public broadcasting has to always be the most integral element of the reason why Doordarshan must exist.
All the cameras and micro-transmission units utilized in this telecast were arranged on the ships in the sea. In this kind of transmission, there is a restriction on the communication between the OB-WAN and the cameraman. This telecast was very beautiful and pleasurable.
In the parlance of economics, a good television program is a merit good, similar to education training and health services.
डॉक्टर साहब नमस्कार।
हाँ नमस्कार
मेरे को भूख नहीं लगता है डॉक्टर साहब। मैं 47 ईयर्स है मेरा
जी,
लेकिन भूख क्यों नहीं लगता है, वही आपको पूछने का था।
प्रकाश भैया, भूख नहीं लगना सिर्फ लीवर से नहीं हो सकता है, उसके लिए तो काफ़ी चीज़ हो सकती है, पेट में और भी कुछ तकलीफ हो सकती है। तो उसके लिए तो आपको डॉक्टर को बता के उनसे जांच करके उनके पास से ही दवा लेनी पड़ेगी।
We viewers, we citizens have broad tastes. We cannot be compressed into the neat categories of marketing where income and taste and choice are the determinist prisons of the consumer market. There are classical dance fans among cricket fans and vice versa. When channels proliferate, the mixed network vanishes. In its place, the specialist network, sports, film, news, music, wildlife, shopping, etc. comes alive. Whereas the mixed network emphasizes what viewers have in common, the single issue channel or the niche channel emphasizes what separates them from others. We know what we gain from single subject channels. A vast supply of, say, every single cricket match played. But what do we lose from the proliferation? A sense of sharing with others, a sense of being a part of collections of individuals who all through separate choice make up the mass TV audience and find that sharing in the mass act of viewing becomes a valued social experience.
What happened during Ramayana is a legend. Everybody knows there are stories and stories and stories. But point is, did Ramayana weave in like a garland the whole nation, whether it was Tamil Nadu, one jewel, or whether it was Assam, another jewel, or it was Kashmir? You know, all the pearls, right from Maharashtra to Gujarat to Madhya, they were weaved. It was like that thread which made that beautiful garland which was put on India.
There is absolutely no doubt about it that people do need entertainment, but at the same time, they need a lot of information which is useful to them. And on this point, the channels really are not helping them at all. This help can be given by the channel which is serving the people, which is serving the public. And this way, if you look at the rural programming, if you look at the education programming, if you look at the programmings which informs people about various laws which are being enacted by the government, you don't have to be a sort of a bhopu for government, but at the same time a lot of work is being done.
ये करते समय हमारे को पूरा एहसास है कि लोगों को, आम जनता को, आम पब्लिक को काफ़ी परेशानी होती है, क्योंकि जगह जगह पे उसको पुलिस रोकती है, थोड़ा रोकती है, इंटरोगेट करती है, तो लोगों को काफ़ी इनकन्वीनियंस होती होगी। पर हम समझते हैं कि इट इज़ बेटर because it is in the interest of peaceful atmosphere in our city.
Public service broadcasters therefore have a crucial function to discharge. Free from commercial pressure, they are free to address the full range of audience interests. The crucial fact is that the viewers of these minority programs are not some exceptional elite. They are the same people as those who watch the soaps. We all want wider choice at some point of the viewing week, and public service broadcasting is providing these programs. Although all of us enjoy the most popular programs for much of the time, very few of us want them all the time. Research shows that by and large the public wants to spend 2/3 of the time watching undemanding, entertaining fare, but wants to watch something more challenging for the other 1/3. Commercial television schedules are prepared to achieve volume, and in so doing, the range of program is severely restricted.
Public service broadcasting is not only a key to our democracy, but that is an engine which can keep the democratic process rolling. After all, what is democracy all about? It is for every citizen of India to not only know his rights, but also to ensure that he is able to exercise those rights. And for that, the content of data, information, knowledge that has to be provided to him with reference to what concerns him in day to day, maybe it is food, health, shelter, security, education, whatever, that has to come in.
The public service broadcaster plays a role in fostering and promoting democracy, which is not just voting once every few years, but in creating involvement and participation, in mobilizing people, and in generating informed debate.
यांना शिकवायला पाठवायला पाहिजे. असं आहे, 7 कोटी रुपये याने वाचलेलं नाहीये.
तुम्ही कोणाला न सांगता फक्त तुम्ही सध्या परिस्थिती सांगा.
Public service broadcasting is a must according to me in a democracy. The democracy is mainly for the people of our country, and there are a number of channels which are working for amusement, entertainment, and somebody has to look after building nation. Who will build the nation?
There is clearly no one perfect funding mechanism for public service broadcasting.
There is need to create a balance. One of the good things that a market does is that it makes the broadcaster responsive. It makes the broadcaster responsive to reactions of the viewers. And if you cut this off completely and have a completely guaranteed source of funding, given the history that we have gone through, I would have some concerns. And therefore, I would urge the stand that we need a mix of the two. Some commercially oriented, market-driven broadcasting which ensures that feedback from the market, feedback from the viewers is taken account of, and a portion of funding that comes in some form of guaranteed funding, where the public service broadcaster is then able to do programs and to do special efforts which need not necessarily be remunerative.
Now we have Prasar Bharati, which is not going to be spoon-fed by the government. So Prasar Bharati has to then create funds for itself. Now, how will it create funds? By having interesting programs and having sponsors. How else would it get that money? But yes, all government departments who want their particular aspect of their social message brought through should perhaps chip in also.
Public service broadcasting do need a secure and reliable source of funding to enable them and to bring to the public at least the following: live coverage of important news events, major sports events, films and important cultural and musical events. World experience shows that public funding is the best way to guarantee both high quality and diverse programming. It also allows public service broadcasters to make programs uniquely focused on viewers and listeners. Broadcasting and broadcasters must be accountable for several reasons. Equally important is training. Traditionally, public service broadcasters have provided a very wide range of production and technical training. In our country, FTII has been responsible for this.
There has to be a need-based training and very effective training in various ways. One could be the foundation course in which the recently recruited person or the person who have been converts from other media like radio, press and film, they can be provided training. The other category could be the middle level programmers and technicians who could be given refresher training because of fast changing technology and concepts in television.
हार्ट अटैक कैसे होता है?
हार्ट अटैक जो है, public service broadcasting will continue to command the attention of the majority of viewers and listeners in the future. To ensure that this will happen, however, public service broadcasters must, through regulation, ensure that they are available in all homes, objective and independent, providing diversity, choice and accurate and balanced news and current affairs programs which are key building blocks of modern citizenship, representing public opinion, accountable to public, politically and financially independent, provide programs which are innovative, informative, educational and entertaining and satisfy the needs of all population, providing programs that the market will not produce because they are high risk in the commercial scenario, gradually leading in the transition from terrestrial to digital terrestrial broadcasting, able to draw on consistent and able funding. Last but not the least, let us not forget that public service television's prime duty is to put quality first and promote pluralism because it increases the content and quality of the programming.